Hello there and welcome back to Friendonkey Wrestling Season 2. Coming off the back of a hugely successful Money in the Bank, if I don't say so myself. There's going to be some fallout here on the post-show FDW. First of all, the man in the main event staring us down. The times they are a-changing. Of course, we crowned a brand new champion at Money in the Bank. Seth Rollins coming up short against Drew McIntyre in a more one-sided affair than the likes of which I think we've ever seen on FDW, let alone in a Seth Rollins match. Seth unable to weather the storm of Drew McIntyre on this occasion, and Drew McIntyre stands tall as your new FDW World Champion. But that's not to say that it's the only big change here. Some things stayed the same. First of all, Bianca Belair, a successful retention of her Women's Championship, wanting to prove that she is a fighting champion. We know this from her already, from her time here on the channel, that she likes getting in between the ropes. And she's issued a bit of an open challenge here this evening, not necessarily for the championship, but a chance to step up and prove yourself. And it's been answered by the one and only Tiffany Stratton. Now, much like her Liberty Championship reign, that legendary reign from Bianca Belair, Bianca Belair seems to be going off the moniker, if you can beat her between the ropes, she'll grant you a shot. Much like Seth's doing with the TV title, Belair looking to continue that kind of moniker, if you like, or that little asterisk when it comes to her championship reigns, that she grants people their opportunities. And looking to seize her opportunity here this evening is Tiffany Stratton, a debut for FDW. This should be a hard-hitting match, a good match as well. Bianca Belair coming off the back of Money in the Bank in one-on-one action against Liv Morgan. A game affair from Liv Morgan, it must be said, as Bianca Belair immediately showing her dominance as the champion, just gorilla pressing Tiffany Stratton. It'll be interesting to see what Stratton can do here in a matchup like this. Has she been caught out by the bright lights of FDW? Still to come this evening as well, we've got Drew McIntyre in the main event. We'll be going one-on-one with Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee asking for the matchup after having claimed a victory over Drew McIntyre en route to Money in the Bank. Feels that he has what it takes to step to the champion. So, we've granted the match. Drew's happy to have the match. Perhaps Drew's looking for a bit of retribution against Dragon Lee. Doesn't want any blemishes on his record at all, considering the dominant performance he had over Seth Rollins. Tiffany Stratton now taking control of the matchup with the flare chops, dragging Belair down to the mat. A win here for Stratton could be huge, setting her up for championship opportunities. Landscape continually shifting in the women's division, as everyone looking to take their shot as Belair flings Stratton to the outside now. All eyebrows raised, I think, after the Belair and Liv Morgan matches. Everyone looks to take their opportunity. Big strike there from Bianca Belair into the patented FDW shooting star press. Still to come this evening as well, we will be determining a number one contender for the TV championship. I suppose we haven't forgot about the TV title. It's still strapped to the waist of Seth Rollins as he looks to fulfill those duties. Arguably a championship he holds incredibly dear, more so than the world title, as Bianca Belair drops a huge elbow off the top rope. Will Bianca Belair hold this title as dear to her as Rollins does the TV title? Huge suplex there off the top rope now. Belair in control of the matchup. as she gets Tiffany Stratton up on her shoulders. Could it be the KOD? It's been enough to put away so many a competitor have stepped to her. Could this be just another notch on the belt for Bianca Belair? Yes, it is. A dominant performance from the champion.
Here is your winner,
And that's ominous. No one quite on her level. Be interesting to see who can step up. Speaking of stepping up and getting on people's level, we have a tag team championship match. After Andre Chase and Duke Hudson of Chase University managed to pick up a victory over the Usos a couple of episodes ago, the match has been granted. They are going for tag gold. Much to the chagrin of the Usos, they feel the fools, to use their words, at Chase U are a bit beneath them, but they're the champions. They have a right to have some challengers, as do the challengers have a right to take the fight to the current champions. Oh. It appears they've had a bit of a chit-chat backstage and have sorted out the fact that they are the Usos. Are they still happy to represent the bloodline? Or are they looking to strike out on their own? Don't quite know. Bloodline very much separated at the moment, as Solo Sikoa is over on Monday Night Raw, I believe. But the Usos, here on FDW, proudly and arrogantly wearing, it must be said, those FDW tag titles. Seems the Usos are showing off their wardrobes a little bit as well. Perhaps last time out they're wearing their spotless white attires, getting a little bit too big for their boots, taking a loss. Back to their normal selves, quote unquote. And there it is, the FDW Tag Team Championship. A minimalist belt, but that doesn't mean that the division itself is any more minimalist. Usos overthrowing Bray Wyatt and Karrion Kross to claim those tag titles. Wyatt and Kross will be in action later this evening as they'll go one-on-one to face Seth Rollins down the line for the TV title. But before that, some business to attend to for the Usos. Can Chase U do the unthinkable? The stars aligned a couple of episodes ago. But will the stars continue to shine bright for them as they look to claim tag team gold? Jimmy Uso now kicking things off, quite literally, to the back of Duke Hudson. Hudson very much the powerhouse. Usos with the quick tags. Taunting Hudson to come close into the Samoan drop. Jey Uso now in control of the matchup. As a quick tag now to Jimmy, keeping Chase U on their toes. Hudson sees it coming though with a quick reversal, looking to take charge of the matchup. Splitting up the Usos. They know what it takes to beat them in non-title action, but the Usos, when it comes to championship matches, are they a different breed? Are they a different beast? Andre Chase now the legal man for Chase U as he looked for a quick cover. Nearly a 2 count. The psychological supremacy of just getting a quick 1 and 1-2 over your opponent can let them know that you're not playing games, that you will seize opportunities to pin them and they will need to expend energy to kick out. Hudson now demonstrating his power, throwing Jimmy Uso all over the mat. Smart strategy from Chase University, having separated the Usos. They can't do the quick tag, they can't use the tag team offense if they're nowhere near each other. But Jimmy able to reverse and get back in control as he tags Jay. Jay now in control, looking for a DDT, but Hudson sees it coming and sees an opportunity for a quick pinfall. It's a 2. And as I said, they'll seize those opportunities. Chase U looking for an element of luck as well, which can come into play in a matchup like this. You can get lucky, you can get those 3 seconds to seize championship glory. Referee Jimmy watches on intently to make sure that Jey Uso is not over-exceeding his time spent in the corner. Hudson now separated from Andre Chase in the Usos' corner as Jay looks to take charge, but Hudson really putting in the work in this match. Chase standing in his corner. As Hudson powers Jey Uso off the top turnbuckle and not letting Jey Uso rest at all as he drags him away from the ropes. Could this be a pin? Jay back to his feet though. Quick rest now as Hudson has a tilt-a-whirl slam. Smart strategy again from Hudson, dividing the Usos, keeping them separate. They are stronger together than they are apart. The hook to the leg now, could it be 3? Just the 1 on this occasion. Tag division going from strength to strength, as they're really becoming a mainstay of FDW here in Season 2 already, as Jey Uso looks to get a pinfall over Duke Hudson. And Hudson needs to think about making a tag as Chase calls for it with Jay with his back turned. Does he know? Has he seen as Chase takes charge? Drop kick to Jey Uso sends him to the outside. As Chase calmly walks over the ring and smacks Jimmy Uso in the face, and Jimmy Uso hits him with a receipt. Andre Chase now the freshest man, with all the energy. Boot there, bringing Jey Uso down to the mat. Here's the hook to the leg. Jay able to kick out. We've seen this from Jey Uso. It takes a lot to put him down. As Chase now does what can only be described as a Canadian Destroyer leg buster. I'm sure that move's got a name. But Jay with a quick tag, getting his brother into the match. Chase sees it coming and follows up with a drop kick. And could this be a 2-on-1 assault from the Usos now as Chase looks to take charge? Jimmy dishing out some punishment onto the head of Chase U. Andre Chase looking for a teachable moment for the Usos. And perhaps taught them something last time. The fact that they could pin them. But whether or not the Usos have learned their lesson is another question entirely. Jey Uso going to that place. Runs to the sky as Hudson back in the ring. Jimmy almost sensing the tag, just rugby tackles Duke Hudson down to the floor and follows up with some quick strikes to the head. Kick to the midsection from Jimmy and a swinging net breaker. The Usos systematically tearing their opponents apart. Quick tag. And Jay back as the legal man. Another quick tag from the Usos as I think about some of that twin magic, twin offense, flying forearm from Jimmy to Hudson in the corners. Jay holds him there in what may be a completely different time zone. That's not how it feels to his partner as Hudson looks to get back to his corner. A tag may be needed now as Hudson clearly the more tired of the two, having done most of the legwork. There's the tag. Chase in control. Off the top rope goes Jimmy Uso as Andre Chase struts across the ring, but thinking he could sucker punch Jey Uso. Jey having absolutely none of it, but it seems to have just fired up Andre Chase as he bounces Jey off the ropes, and Jimmy isolated on his own. Could this be the opening that Andre Chase needs? Jimmy with the reversal, and we didn't see it because the camera was right up referee Jimmy's hole. No, we wanted to see Jimmy, but just not that Jimmy, and not that much of Jimmy. Tag now from the Usos as Jey struts across the ring, and Hudson just taking the sucker punch. Bounced off the rope. Andre Chase now teeing off on Jey Uso, but he finds himself isolated now with nobody to tag. And could this be the game plan of the Usos all along? Do they see Andre as the weaker of the two? Andre Chase dropping that inverse DDT, hook to the leg. Could it be 3? It's a 2 count. None on this occasion. They come close. As the crowd calls for tag team wrestling, will we be seeing new tag team champions? Chase U with momentum on their side. Huge boot there from Duke Hudson, kicking Jay's head clean off his shoulders. And Hudson immediately back on Jey Uso, not letting him get the tag, keeping the offense up. Duke Hudson off the second rope with a double axe handle. Power on display. It's Jey flinging Duke Hudson back to his own corner with a quick sucker punch. Tagging into Jimmy Uso. Here comes Jimmy, barging Andre Chase off. And that was smart. That is years of experience. It looked like he was going for Duke Hudson, but he quickly barged Andre Chase off the ropes, and Hudson isolated once again. Could this be the moment that the Usos are looking for to retain their championship? Blows to the back. All the damage just wearing down the big man. Jimmy thinking about a super kick. As Duke Hudson now still with the power and wherewithal for a sidewalk slam on Jimmy Uso. And with the bit between his teeth, he drags Jimmy to his feet and yeets him across the ring as he looks to tag in Andre Chase. Can Andre get it done? Another quick tag. Tag team offense, they've got to work as a team here if they're going to overthrow the Usos. And they do. With a punch into a crossbody off the back of the knees, over the front of the knees of Andre Chase as well to the lower back of Jimmy Uso. That's got to hurt. Jimmy still with enough fight left in him, wanting to cling to that championship for all it's worth. Frustrated Jimmy Uso now just choking Duke Hudson down to the mat. There's the cover. Andre Chase. Unorthodox breakup there. Kicking the referee, and how that is not a DQ as referee Jimmy lays out cold. Jimmy Uso goes to the top rope. Looking for almost a swanton-like Phoenix splash there. Hudson sees it scouted and rolls out the ring, and it's all broken down. As Hudson calls for it. He's feeling himself. Shoulder barges now in the corner from Duke Hudson. And slamming Jey Uso onto his back, out the corner. Uso's isolated once again. Jimmy's got to be hurting after a few missed moves. Andre Chase calls for it. And there it is, the tag team offense. Could this be 3? Hook to the leg from Andre Chase. Jey sees it and breaks it up. And you got to think that would have been 3. If not for the save from Jey Uso. Andre Chase drops the elbow, which busts Jimmy Uso open. Almost as a return for last week. But Andre Chase, Duke Hudson from Chase U was busted open in an effort to earn this match, and now they are returning the favour. Both looking for a drop kick and both connecting, but not quite how they thought, as Jay with a neck breaker. Smart from Andre Chase to find himself some breathing room, rolling to the outside. But he needs to remember, the Usos have the championship advantage. He can't afford to take too long outside the ring as he falls back in and attacks the lower back once again of the Usos. It seems to be the MO of Chase University here in this match. Removing the midsection from both the front and the back of the Usos. Spear from Jey Uso out of nowhere. There's the hook, here's the cover. Could it be 3? Only a 2 count. And that must have rocked Andre Chase, as Jey Uso sit out neck breaker, slamming Andre Chase down to the mat. Duke Hudson able to break up the pinfall. And this is close. We've got to feel we are in the final stages now. As Jay clears house, Jimmy stands tall. In the Usos corner, Samoan drop from Jey Uso to Andre Chase. As Jay looks to go to the top rope. Could this be the end? Usually heralds it with an Uso splash. Duke Hudson nowhere to be seen. Can Jay capitalise? Hook to the leg. And still, your FDW Tag Team Champions, the Usos. And they bloody earned it, I must say. Tag team division put on notice now. From one tag team to another broken tag team to decide a #1 contender for Seth Rollins' TV title. It will be Bray Wyatt versus Karrion Kross, but with the added wrinkle that Seth Rollins has asked to be the special guest referee of this match. Seth really not happy with himself after his performance at Money in the Bank. Looking to get up close and personal with a potential challenger. Looking to see what they got first hand. I mean, he already knows both of these men so well, having fought them in Season 1, particularly Bray Wyatt. He knows one of these men is coming for him. So he's been granted the opportunity to become the special guest referee. We'll see what kind of job he does. And we've seen from Seth a few underhanded tactics in his match, or in his matches. But will he be resorting to any underhanded tactics in this match, as he's the one that needs to call it down the middle? First up, former tag champ Bray Wyatt. He surely fancies his chances. Yet another opportunity to go for the TV title. This is a very different Bray Wyatt from what we've seen in the past. Just being himself. It earned him tag gold. Can being on his own once again earn him singles gold. The one man desperate for another taste of gold is Karrion Kross. Since day one on FDW he's been here. Unlucky on so many occasions in Season 1. And then when it mattered, right at the end, with the help of Bray Wyatt. Claiming the championship success. Short-lived championship success, but success nonetheless. But now both of these men have held a title. They look to hold one more, as they stand across the ring from the man who helped them gain their first bit of gold. They must now beat the man who helped them, as Wyatt now takes charge of the matchup with some quick blows to Karrion Kross, as Seth watches on intently, not getting too close just yet, just keeping his distance. But Bray Wyatt hooked to the leg immediately. That was quick from Rollins. Remember that the winner of this match gets Seth Rollins and a shot at the TV Championship, and both these men must be feeling pretty good after having watched Money in the Bank, or one would assume they watched Money in the Bank. Karrion Kross now slamming Bray Wyatt mercilessly off the apron. And looking at powerbombing on the outside, that is strength from Kross. And he must be feeling Kross. But he's having to overcome yet another obstacle. After having taken a couple of losses, first losing his championship and then coming up short against Drew McIntyre, looking to get back to winning ways is Karrion Kross. Wyatt now just a huge lariat sending Karrion Kross to the outside. Seth with the count. The Kross back between the ring, or between the ring ropes. Kross with a huge back elbow there, hooking the leg for a quick cover. 2 count from Rollins. A little bit slow. And will that get the ire of Karrion Kross? Still to come this evening is the main event, Drew McIntyre versus Dragon Lee in singles action. Looking forward to that one as Drew McIntyre looks for a bit of revenge on his otherwise stellar record here on FDW. Looking to wipe that blemish from it. Both the men in the ring already with many a blemish on their career, seeking to get more highlights in their win-loss record. That's the man with the biggest blemish on his career now, Seth Rollins. After all that success, all that hard work, Royal Rumble win, defeating all the opponents, working his way there, overcoming Bronson Reed to lose the world title. It's such a one-sided affair. Seth now looking for a pinfall. But slow count there. Karrion Kross picking up Bray Wyatt for potentially a fallen prey. Could this be 3? Not quite. Kross and Wyatt know what it's going to take each other down. The crowd chanting for these men to fight forever. I don't think they do want to fight forever, as they do eventually want to win, because that means they can go on to challenge the man in the ring, Seth Rollins, your TV champion. Count of 4 now, to get a bit of breathing space. Kross with the clubbing blows on to the back of Bray Wyatt. And a headbutt to the back of the head. That's gotta hurt. Wyatt with a Thez press. And there's the frustration of the former tag champ. Huge senton there from Bray Wyatt. As he lifts Kross up and knocks him down on his way back to earth. Bray with Kross in the corner, picks him up, and that's power there from Wyatt, showing that he can go with the biggest of them, the baddest of them. And Rollins must feel like he's seeing a ghost as he potentially counts the pin. 2 count for Wyatt. Dropping the elbow there into the heart of Karrion Kross. Once again, Wyatt with a running senton. And these big blows must be putting some damage in Karrion Kross now. Everything's got to be taking its toll. Another big elbow drop there to the back of Karrion Kross now as Bray Wyatt signals for it. Could it be? There it is, the mandible claw. He's got Karrion Kross dead to rights, middle of the ring. Seth watches on intently. Will there be a tap? Will Cross tap? Cross powering out. And he's got to be hurting. Wyatt off the ropes, looks for a Thez press, but Cross with a huge suplex. Just throwing Bray Wyatt round the ring like he's nothing. Both men rolling to the outside. Cross going with him as Wyatt thought he might be able to get himself a bit of breathing room, but Cross knows him so well as he lays him out with a huge DDT. Just breaking Wyatt's neck there. Cross now. Another huge power bomb to the outside. Rollins calling for them to get back between the ropes. Cross now with a running basement drop kick as Wyatt gets himself that bit of respite outside and back between the ropes, just getting back on his feet. Wisely Wyatt rolling out. Wyatt chokes Cross in the corner, and that's that frustration. The dark side of Wyatt we've seen come out on occasion. Has he expelled those demons, or are they coming back to haunt him? As Seth now looks to count the cover. Bray Wyatt with a 2 count and nearly 3. Cross expending perhaps the last of his energy to kick out of that. As Bray Wyatt throwing caution to the wind up to the top rope. Cross sees it coming and slams him down to the mat. Carrying Cross with Bray Wyatt up on his chest and slams him down as well, and that's got to hurt. Bray Wyatt busted open. Still able to kick out. Neither man willing to go down. What is it going to take to pick up the victory here? Seth watching his challengers. Blood pouring from the head of Bray Wyatt. As Cross gets Bray Wyatt up for another fall and prey. Can Wyatt get back to his feet, dragging himself to the corner, and that was instinct from Wyatt there, you could tell. Had Cross picked up the pinfall there, as he looks for this time, getting him away from the ropes. And your winner, Karrion Kross.
Here is your winner, Karrion Kross.
He will go on to challenge Seth Rollins for the TV title on an episode of FDW still to come, and he's got to be feeling good about that one. Vanquishing Bray Wyatt is no easy feat. But with momentum on his side, can he go into his TV title match feeling good? And finally this evening, another singles contest, as I've mentioned throughout the show. McIntyre, Dragon Lee, 1-on-1. Making his first entrance as the new FDW World Champion. Sword firmly in hand, belt firmly around waist. No more chilly navels for Drew McIntyre. There's the fire. The fire lit beneath Drew McIntyre.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way.
Stepping out next is Dragon Lee, who's had an up and down start to season 2 here on FDW, has Dragon Lee. Several losses, but then a huge win over Drew McIntyre, which is what's got him this match this evening, and you've got to take these opportunities where you can. A win over Drew when he was challenger means that he's feeling good, means that he could potentially beat him as he's champion. You've got to think a win over Drew McIntyre as champion would get you in the conversation, to say the least. But based on his performance at Money in the Bank, you've got to be thinking that Drew McIntyre is looking to continue his dominance. Especially now he's got that gold around his waist. Not wanting Dragon Lee to hold anything over him. As Doug getting in all the wrong parts of town. McIntyre with a huge powerbomb here. Slamming Dragon Lee down to the mat. And a kick to the back of the leg now. And we saw it at Money in the Bank, just not allowing his opponents to kind of get any rest, to get in any offense. He can keep up the quick offense, but McIntyre's got the size and power to back it up. And when you're being beaten down, beaten up as well by a man of McIntyre's size so quickly, those quick strikes are big strikes and they are going to hurt. Couple that with the huge power moves. McIntyre's going to be quite the opponent for anyone, as Dragon Lee hits a Spanish fly onto Drew McIntyre. And is this perhaps what Dragon Lee's got to do? Use McIntyre's strength against him, his speed, all that momentum, but McIntyre able to turn it around at a moment's notice, slamming Dragon Lee down to the floor. Over the top rope goes McIntyre, collecting Dragon Lee on the way down. And Lee has got to be hurting. A systematic dismantling from Drew McIntyre. Huge fall away suplex there. Onto the luchador. Back between the ropes we go now. As Doug cowers in fear before the big man. Speaking of whom, goes to the top rope, showing that he can fly with the best of them. Big elbow drop onto the chest of Dragon Lee, and that has got to take the wind right out of your sails. Lee getting fired up now. Sees his opportunity. Big head of steam through the bottom and middle rope goes Dragon Lee, and that is high risk. It's the crowd chanting that this is awesome. But Dragon Lee is getting one over on the FDW champion. It must be said that Dragon Lee is getting more offense here on Drew McIntyre than Seth Rollins did at the pay-per-view. Perhaps wear and tear finally caught up with Rollins. But the fresh-faced Dragon Lee, with everything to fight for, looking to forge an opportunity for himself with a win over the world champion. Stomped to the midsection now. Dragon Lee in control. Championship not on the line in this match. This is purely a one-on-one. McIntyre sits, and is he waiting the count out? Count of 8. Back between the ropes, and he's gonna say, not like this, Drew. Not your first outing as champion. McIntyre building up ahead of steam as Dragon Lee once again using McIntyre's speed and momentum against him. That seemed to be his game plan, but McIntyre just able to get in control with a bear hug slam. Just a suplex-like attack there as McIntyre, big clubbing blow to the side of the head, and that's got to be enough to daze Dragon Lee. Just a massive power maneuver there from McIntyre once again as he goes for the cover. Only a 2 count. The never say die Dragon Lee. What's it going to take from McIntyre to bring him down? Quick jabs. And he's going to need to go that Lucha Libre style, targeting Drew McIntyre. Off the top rope comes Dragon Lee into a huge Hurricane Rana, rolls through, both legs hooked, head cinched in deep. only a 1 count. But McIntyre must be feeling that. Big V-trigger knee there from Dragon Lee as he pulls the knee pad down. Dragon Lee signalling for it. Running knee. Drew McIntyre sees it coming and reverses it. You're going to need to get up pretty early in the morning to catch Drew McIntyre off guard like that as he bounces Dragon Lee off the top rope. McIntyre in the corner. Signaling for the 3-2-1. Hits the Claymore. It was enough to take down Rollins. Is it enough? Yes, it is. As Drew McIntyre stands victorious over Dragon Lee. Oh. A few technical difficulties. And oh my god! The lights went out. And standing across the ring from Drew McIntyre, we know who that is. That was Gunter, signalling his intentions clear as day. Looks like Drew has found himself a challenger. Gunter imposing his will on the division, on the champion, and on the brand. And I am having flashbacks. Well, a solid show coming off the back of Money in the Bank. Great debut performance, Tiffany Stratton. Usos retaining their gold. Cross forging himself an opportunity. And the landscape at the top. Just gone through one seismic shift. It appears we've still got some more seismic shifts to come. Stay tuned to FDW and to find out what happens next. I'm very much looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. Catch you soon.